everyone. Welcome to the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer. Or actually, I should always start off with this. Hello. Welcome, Wayward Gamers, to the Emporium. Because it's got to flip over like that. Thank you for joining us. We are doing a little side backstories of our characters. Jeff and Jim are going to do theirs, but tonight we have Carrie. And Brynn is going to have a little deep dive into her backstory. Ooh. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jay, also known as Neopet3 on the socials. And again, with us is the wonderful, the talented Carrie.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm Carrie. I'm good, man. I'm Carrie Schultens. I'm at Carrie Schultens on all the socials. You can find me also on Monday nights on Mini Terrain Domain, some Friday nights every month on Dice Tales Live, and then once in a great while over on Big Bearded Nerd.
Yes. Lots of stuff doing. And are you getting nervous with your new your mini campaign coming up soon?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm trying to get everybody to get their backstory stuff and ready to go. But I mean, honestly, I'm more excited than I am nervous. That group, I really trust them, and I know that if I had to play for any group to start off with, it would be them.
Oh yeah, it's definitely you got a good group. I'm excited to watch it, so I'm looking forward to it. So,
thank you, man.
We're gonna start off with a little Saltmarsh Legend deep dive into the back history of Broadriver. Wait a minute, I didn't even say her name right, did I?
Yeah. Okay. Brynn Broadriver.
Yeah. Brains, names.
Nailed it.
So
crushed it.
Where does Brynn give a little short history synopsis before she joined the Adventures of Guild, before she joined the Natural Ones? What was a basic synopsis, basic outline of what Brynn did?
Sure. So Brynn grew up very poor. Her father was like kind of just a shiftless dude, like just kind of always looking to make a buck, and he was not above teaching his daughter to steal things and to kind of panhandle and just general nefarious ways of making money. She was later abandoned by her father and eventually found her way through somewhat serendipitous events to the Harpers. She expected them to turn her away because of her background. They caught her trying to steal something. But ultimately, one of them took pity on her and saw that she could maybe have talents that could be useful and took her in. And Brynn was with the Harpers for a while, and then something happened. And I don't know how far you want me to go.
Nope, that's good. Something happened. So, but before that event that happened, Brynn was learning. She had to go. She had a mentor that would mentor her. That was a part of the Harpers. The interesting thing about the Harpers, they do a lot of different things out there and different things. And but over the course of as Brynn's learning and her schoolmates and the incident that happened with her other individuals, she was still learning. And as part of the learning process, you get sent out occasionally on a mission or a task, as they call it, the tasks. And different tasks are labeled on their difficulty rating. And generally, sometimes you'll have someone who is a little bit more senior with someone that's brand new so that they can learn it on the way. Sometimes it's around the same level because it's depending on what the level of the task is or the importance of the task. This particular day in Baldur's Gate, Brynn was coming back to where she was staying with her mentor. And her mentor, this particular day was a little odd. And when you came back, there was a little bit, she seemed to have been having a meeting with someone else, another male, older, little like bearded, little salty beard, brownish hair that's a little bit longer, a little bit heavier set human, somewhat nice, like merchant clothes, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing too extravagant, but something a little seaworthy.
Sure.
And they're having a not a heated discussion, but it was you kind of walk in as they're having a discussion of something,
Mm-hmm.
and you couldn't catch what they were saying, but it was definitely when you walked in, they both turned to both of you, or they both turned to you and looked straight
Okay.
at you, and your mentor was like, "Oh," turns to the gentleman, says, "We can finish our discussions later," and he's like, and he kind of greets and kind of leaves. You recognize him a little bit, but you don't.
Okay.
You
Okay.
think he's probably, based off the mannerisms, he probably is one of the not higher ranking, but a medium rank or a peer rank to her in the Harpers.
Okay.
But you're
So
not.
after he,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say after he leaves, I would just sort of turn to her, and I'd just be like, "What was that about?"
Oh, nothing. Just some hmm, some details that need to be fixed or be aware of. So nothing interesting, but more at hand. And she pulls out an envelope. This
Mm.
came for you today.
I don't very often get letters, and I take it,
Mm-hmm.
and I would open the envelope, and I would look at it.
And it basically at the top left hand corner, it's just the Harper symbol.
Okay.
And then basically it says your name and a
Hmm.
time and a place and a location. And you know that this is the standard Harper, like, okay, this is where you get your information for your tasks.
Yeah. Is there a fire burning in here?
Yeah, pretty much. Always.
I would kind of laugh, and I would just chuck the whole thing into the fire.
Yep, which is
And I would,
standard Harper protocol.
yeah, and I would just kind of look back, and this is my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Farah,
Yep.
and she was the one that actually I tried to steal from,
Mm-hmm.
and caught me. And instead of whooping me or anything like that, she was the one that took me in, and so we kind of have a bond.
Mm-hmm.
How long, Jay, would you say I have been with the Harpers at this point? About how many years?
Because you had a total of, I want to say you had what, 6 years or 10 years? I can't remember.
I want to say it was closer to.
I got to double check your backstory
That's a
here.
good question. That I will need to double check, but it's okay. A while.
Yeah,
And
it's been a
so,
while. So you're still, I would say this is your, probably like your second task. So you're still
okay,
relatively new when it comes to
okay,
this process.
okay,
But but like I said, depending on the situation and things of that nature, you're getting close to the time of the incident before you had to leave.
okay,
But it's still, like I said, you still got a decent amount. You've
okay.
been with the mentor for a while.
And Brynn would kind of just chuckle and be like, cryptic as ever. And then I would repeat the time and the place,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, hmm, what do you suppose they want?
I don't know. That is for you to find out. You know those things. And other people, I'm not privy to the information that you're. I just know that you need
Bullshit.
to do your best,
Uh,
complete the
I will.
task.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, and one of the things that Bryn has learned over the last few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
there's been a little bit you've when you've started doing your tasks or definitely getting to the point where you're about to after your first task and right before
Mm-hmm.
your first task, there was a little bit of a not tension, but you could sense that Lady Fair, she has gotten some flack or basically some scrutiny for taking you in. And
Mm-hmm.
it's come to light a little bit more. And there's a little bit more of a close watch on her over the
Mm-hmm.
course of what you do as well. And so it's one of those things where it's starting to realize that, okay, you might be thinking, but you're kind of like, okay, you're starting to realize there's a little bit more scrutiny whenever your name kind of comes up in the process.
Mm-hmm. So for a while, Brynn is sort of kind of jokey, and then And then she just kind of like nods and is like, I'll do my best. I'll do the job right, the way it's supposed to be done.
Yes. Like I taught you.
Exactly.
So later
And I
that
just, yeah,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I would just kind of leave for the day, and I would be on my way out
Mhm.
and just sort of turn over my shoulder and be like, I'm sorry I don't thank you more often than I do.
You thank me enough. It's not necessary. You know that.
Thank you. And I like head out for the day.
She kind of goes back to what she was doing. You know your meeting isn't until later this evening,
Mhm,
probably after dark,
mhm,
and it's at uh, a known like Harper safe house and meeting
mm,
location. So you know it's kind of down in a basement of a merchant or like a tavern or something like that. It's a small little meeting location,
okay.
cellar area where you meet, you get your information, you get and then you kind of head out from there.
Okay.
And then, like I said, after dark kind of comes in, and around that time, and there's always uh, a notification of like, okay, if it's in meet, if it's available, you can time to go in or not go in, things of that nature,
Mm,
by a little
mm-hmm.
light or something that's just outside
Sure.
that
Like
area.
a lantern or a
Mhm.
candle in the window or something like that. Okay.
Colored, yeah, something colored and just outside that area. So that you
Okay.
kind of walk down some stairs into the cellar area.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as you approach, lights the color that you need to be to
Okay.
like when you're ready.
All right. So I would go in, and Bryn would sort of one would almost expect somebody who's unfamiliar with a place to stop at the door and look around, but
Hmm.
Bryn kind of knows better than that because that'll draw attention.
Hmm.
So she kind of walks in like she's been there 100 times, and goes over to the bar and would order a drink.
Okay. And, well, actually, and like I said, this is a cellar, so you're
Oh,
walking
I
down into a.
apologize.
Oh no, no problem. You're kind of walking in the door, and it's kind of into a cellar with a table and just
Oh,
and it's like the cellar entrance to the tavern.
to the tab.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So this
see.
tavern's
Okay,
up on
okay.
top, and the cellar's in the
Oh,
basement. So you kind of go into that small little, you know,
so there's no booze in the basement? That's unacceptable. No.
well, the booze is there. It's just in large
Yeah,
containers.
Bryn would be looking around, thinking about freaking sticky finger and something, just looking for what she thinks looks most expensive. But she does sort of stick to like the walls. Like
Hmm.
she doesn't just stand in the middle of the room, and she really kind of tries to avoid anywhere where there would be a possibility of someone like sneaking up on her. She
Hmm.
like keeps her back to the wall, kind of.
Okay. And you know that this little entrance area where the cellar is, there is a door that goes in further into the cellar, and you know
Okay.
that past that door is where the meeting is. And generally, there's a table and a lantern, and that's where the information is set. There's a small little fire in that area too. So
Okay.
you know that once you go through that door, that's where when the briefing or meeting is going to happen.
Okay. So I would kind of take my time.
Mhm.
And then I would eventually, yeah, I would go through the door and into the meeting area.
So as you open up the door, the first thing you see is Tib.
I would kind of immediately like I imagine like Bryn opens the door and she sees Tib and she's just like, nope, and like shuts the door again and then kind of like and goes back in and it's just like Tib Oakstrong.
Yes. And then you hear an older voice, and it's the Harper. You're basically your duty or your task uh giver.
Okay.
Middle ranking task giver, and he kind of
And I
sends.
would yeah, I would salute to him
Mhm.
and just kind of be like and then kind of immediately like bite my tongue for giving Tib shit because like that's very informal and this is a pretty serious deal. So
He's kind of eyeing you for a second, and he motions to sit down at the table.
mm-hmm. And I do. I'm already feeling
Yeah.
like Bryn is feeling like she's on her heels,
Hmm.
very unconfident in this situation, which is pretty out of character for her.
So this gentleman you don't know by name, you just know by the
Mm,
task giver or
mhm.
the tasker. I was going to say Taskmaster, but that was Marvel.
That's something else.
That's something else. But he's the task giver, and he doesn't know no one knows his name. He's just task giver, and he's like, and he's like I said, because also Tim is that half elf, but he's definitely human. He's rough around the edges a little bit. Definitely, probably he looks like that tavern owner behind the bar, and he does have the apron on a little bit. Like he's probably just came from upstairs.
The task giver does?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay.
He's kind of sitting there, goes, boy, you two are the task that you have right there. Your mission, your task, to infiltrate a store that's sort of located here in Gate. It's a potion and candy store. And your job, it's called the Emporium for the Wayward Flavor. Emporium for short.
What a weird name.
Yeah, it's pretty popular. It's been around for a while. There's a few stores. There's a few of the stores locations within Boulders and a few other cities around. But, so here's the thing. Sometime tonight, your task is to infiltrate this candy store's upper level. There should be above the store, there's the home or the residence. There, in the main hallway, inside this, on the second floor by the stairs, as you go up from the first floor, is an old burnt clock. It's, like I said, top of the stairwell. It looks like an old tiefling-esque craftsman type clock. The style, you can't miss it. It's burnt as if it was in a fire, but survived. It's an older looking clock. May or may not work, I don't know. But inside the clock, you will see there will be a secret compartment in the back. You'll know the clock by our sign, or symbol, will be in. Retrieve the item that's in the secret compartment of the clock and come back.
What is the secret item?
We don't know. That is your task. Get whatever it is and bring it here.
So you want us to go to a candy store and hunt down something that's inside a clock?
Yes.
I have to be honest, Tasca, that sounds terribly unimportant.
Well, I will tell you this much. The clock survived a fire, a building. One of our harpers left a message in that clock. We thought it was lost. But we recently found that it has been recovered. It has been sitting in this for many, many years. The store has been around for maybe 100 years or so. So the fire was a few years ago. But whatever information is in that clock is valuable. Is that more information that you required for your task?
Brynn is sort of instantly embarrassed because, like, she just kind of had turned over a new leaf to not embarrass Farah, and is like, when he says, "Is that enough?" I would just kind of be like, "Yes, sir, that's plenty."
Now, the Emporium for Wayward Flavors is a chain store. They've got, like I said, but this appears to be the original. It's about 100 or so years old. So owners, family, generations. Be quiet. We try to avoid as much incident as possible. But if something happens, something happens. You know the drill.
Of course. And I want to look over at Tib. How is he taking all of this?
Tib is kind of sitting back going, at first he was kind of in that, okay, yeah, we're getting a clock. But then after the information is like, oh, okay, interesting. He's pondering okay, what else is going on? What could it be? And you kind of he's kind of sitting back going, Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Infiltrate, okay. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, and he's like, it needs to be completed tonight. And he's like, yes. So there's probably a second floor window or a back door to the facilities. We don't know. It's probably, we don't know traps or not. The store, we don't know specifics, but it's been around for a little bit. They've got a little bit of money. They sell items, like I said, so there's probably some defenses on the first floor. Second floor, not so much. But
Mm-hmm.
I leave it to your capable hands on which way you would like to, which way you would like to retrieve it.
Now, when we retrieve this message, what do you want us to do with it? Take it? Take it back to headquarters? Bring it to you?
Whatever is inside, bring it back here. Place it in, and he points over to a barrel. Place it in there.
All right. Tib, do you have any questions?
It's like, sir, can we be awesome?
He doesn't have any questions. Thank you so much.
And he's just kind of looking at you like, get going, you two.
Brynn would stand up and like grab Tib by like the back of his shirt and sort of yoink him along out of the room.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, what?
You joke around.
You gotta lighten up. Much. Now, the one thing you know about Tib is Tib's been on a few more tasks than you have. So as you're probably that first level rogue, he's probably a second level rogue. And he's getting into that, I mean, he's been very successful with his tasks that he's been doing. And what you know is that there's been one particular task that was pretty herring that he was able to complete that he got some recognition for. And because of that, it's kind of gone to his head.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as he's griping about you need to lighten up, and I would wait and shut the door behind him, and then I would turn around and like kind of like push him, not hard, but like just to get his attention in the chest. And I'd be like, and you need to buckle down. This is a serious job.
Yeah. I know. It's okay. We've got easy in and out. Easy peasy. No issues.
I'm glad you think it'll be easy. I have to nail this. I have to do this right.
We'll be fine. Just trust me. We'll be fine. It's all good. What?
I don't trust you in the slightest. Well, that's the problem.
It's okay. So, how do we want to get in? What do you suggest? Sneaking in?
How am I familiar-ish with this building? I mean, I've been in Baldur's Gate for a long time.
Enough. Mostly, and Tib kind of knows probably a little bit more, and you were given a little bit of information of what the building is. And it's your standard, it's a smaller building, but it's, a smaller shop. And then on top, there's second floor, there is residence. The interesting thing is, like I said, you've got the small window shop. It's kind of cluttered with a few things. One entrance coming in. There's a back entrance as well that kind of goes into a storage area. Then with that, there's stairs that go up into the second floor. And then from there, it just kind of widens out to a few more rooms. So, and there's a little bit of a balcony on the front and back side.
Okay.
To one of the bedrooms.
So I would kind of like crack my neck and I would just be like, well, I am of the mind that the less traps we have to deal with, the better. So I think there's if I'm thinking of the right building, I think there's a balcony on the back side. Leads into one of the bedrooms. A sleeping person is a lot easier to get past than a trap.
True. And I don't think, from what I recall from the information, that there's no limited number of people are there. So.
Well then, that's my vote. Unless you and all your grandiosity have a better idea.
Nope. Like it. Let's do it.
And Brynn would kind of roll her eyes again and walk out of the shop, and I would start to make my way with Tib across town to the Emporium of the Wayward Flavors.
And as you make your way, and takes you a little while to get there, and it's getting dark, and it's much later and past midnight. It's going to be that 1 a.m. type, because you, like I said, you want it to be able to get into the good time,
Sure.
the hour of burglaring. And so you scoped out the place for a little bit that you kind of know. Go ahead and give me a stealth check to see how well
Check.
you're kind of in moving and getting ready to get to that area.
Okay. Oh, that was almost really good, and now it's only okay. That's a 13.
Not bad. Like I said,
Not
not
bad.
terrible. It's still one of those kind of like, all right. And we're gonna see how well this goes. Oh no, that's what I want. Oh, but you did much better than Tib did, because Tib banged into something, because you rolled a 9.
Yes.
And so yeah,
Awesome.
he was looking at something, and as he was going, you hear this tink, 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 tink.
And I would just give him a dirty look, but I can't yell at him because
Yep,
we're still
he's like,
trying to be very quiet. And
and
then, yeah.
how are you going to climb up to this balcony?
So, are there nearby buildings? Like, how narrow is this alley?
It's a pretty relatively narrow alley, because it's relatively backed up, so it's a decent alley.
Okay. And this balcony is about how high up off the ground?
A good 15, 20 feet. Like I said, normal
15, 20
second
feet.
story, to get
Okay.
up.
Okay. So I guess Brynn does have rope.
Okay.
So let's see. Do I have a grapple? Do I have pinions? Do I have son of a gun? Well, I have a crowbar. So what I would do is I'd be like, you would see Brynn kind of like rub her chin and just sort of like, I got it. And then she would like, I want to try to like tie the end of the rope to my crowbar to kind of fashion like a grapple.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that?
Give me would it be an athletic? Yeah, give me an athletics to kind of throw it up there and kind of hook it a little bit.
Oop. I need that. That's my die. Okay, sorry.
Because no problem. Tib had a different idea, and Tib was about to do something as you're doing that. And I'm gonna, depending on how well you roll, what's your roll, he's doing something too.
That's a dirty 20.
Ooh, so yeah, you hook it, no problem, and and it was quiet. And as you hook it, you see Tib jump up and trying to parkour up a little bit on one of them, miss, and fall to the ground.
I imagine the shot is Brynn like getting the thing and then thunk, like right in front of her, and
right behind you, like right behind next to you. It's like the shot is you're doing this, and you see this body go boom.
Exactly. And I would turn around and I'd be like, are you okay?
And he's got his finger up like this, like going, okay, good job.
Yes, thank you.
And you're climbing up. My dice are not being happy right now, so
that's fine.
Yeah.
You're Tib.
Yeah, I'm Tib.
You're Tib.
So you make it up to the second floor.
Yes.
And as you get up there in the balcony, there's a door, and there's also some windows on the side.
Okay.
That are relatively close. And give me another stealth check.
Okay.
Once you get up here.
Oh man. That's a 26.
Wow. Yeah,
I am the shadows. I am the night.
You are the shadows, and you are the night. And you're pretty sure, so you have the door, like a 2 glass door from here, but then there's a window that's relatively close that you can access to if you wanted to.
Okay.
Which way would you want to try to get in?
I guess I don't want to overthink it. I guess I would go in probably, I would check the window for traps.
Okay.
And then I would probably try to go in through the window.
All right. Give me an investigation roll for the trap.
Okay. 17.
17. And you said the window, correct?
Yes.
Okay. There are no traps on the windows.
Nice.
But you're thinking, because there's probably a trap on the door. And so you're kind of sitting there going, okay. And yeah, so
I would kind of I would kind of, as Tib gets up,
Hmm.
I would like kind of point at the door and be like,
He's like, okay.
and then I would point at the window and I'd be like,
Hmm.
and then I would go and I would try to very quietly open the window.
Yeah, and you kind of get in and you kind of can unlock the window a little bit
Yeah.
from the stuff. And yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
opening up the window
Nice,
and
nice, nice.
all quietly, and you kind of sneak in, and he kind of does the same thing, and you get
Mhm.
in, and you're in one of the bedrooms, and it's dark in here, but you can see it's
Okay.
decent. There's some nice linens. It's definitely a house that's older. It's been
Okay.
probably 100 years old. So I mean,
Wow.
it's nice decorated. It's been probably updated a little bit. This is one of the older rooms. It probably was a kid's room at one time
Okay.
long ago, or generational. It's probably, but right now it's empty. And there is actually some cloth over a desk, and there's the bed. So it's definitely not been used.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. All right. So this is
And I want to
this.
preference that this room is not connected to the door bedroom. So this is a separate bedroom
Okay.
from the door. This is a second, like the window is only accessed from the
To
outside
this room.
to this bedroom. The
Okay.
door that's over the balcony is connected to a different bedroom that
Okay.
might
Gotcha.
seem to be active.
Okay. Gotcha. So I would really, really quietly whisper to Tib, be like, we're going to go out into the hall. I'll look for the clock. You keep an eye out for anybody who wakes up.
Give me another stealth check.
My God, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it so hard here. Oh my God, dirty 20.
There you go. Yeah, you're like you unlock the door, you kind of open the door, kitty, and you kind of step out and you're looking, and it's quiet, and it's a dark, and it's unique because it's almost like it's a long hallway, and to the left of you going down the stairs goes to the first level,
Okay.
and then, or let me take that back. So immediately to your right, there's a hallway that kind of goes down to some more bedrooms and things of that nature. To the left,
Okay.
there's another bedroom or two. And then it's kind of like a U shaped. So like you're kind of on one of the U's landings. And then as it kind of goes around, all the bedrooms are on the side. And then in the center is where the stairs that are going down.
Okay.
But you know how the U kind of comes in like this? At the end of that U
Yes.
is another room at the top. So
Okay.
it kind of comes down,
Oh.
and it's kind of
Okay.
over where it is. And it's probably like a lounge or something like that. And the bedrooms kind of line the outside a little bit.
Okay.
And as you're kind of sitting there, you're listening, it's quiet up in here.
Okay.
And yeah,
Um.
and to the left against the wall, because as you walk up the stairs, right up
Mhm.
against that wall down the hallway, probably about maybe 15, 20 feet on that wall, there's a clock. And then there's paintings as well, all on the
Really?
walls by where the bedrooms are between the doors.
Does the clock look burnt?
Yep.
Sick. Okay. So I want to very quietly Pink Panther my way over to the clock.
Okay. So as you're Pink Panthering your way to the clock, something you notice on the walls as you're getting there is that there's a lot of paintings and portraits
Okay.
of people, of families, and it appears to be like the store owners' families and generational.
Okay.
And under the pictures, there's names.
Okay.
And
What are
so
the
like you
names?
see the first one, it looks like a mother, and it says hentai, or hentai, so it's Hentie, and she's kind of
Okay.
looks like a cook. And she's standing next to a father figure named Morthos, who's a
Okay.
merchant looking, and they're definitely, and under it says Amber Crown.
Okay.
And it looks old. Like this is like an old photo. And then
Okay.
there's some other photos of like some children with them in as well.
All right.
And then as you're kind of looking, some of those children paintings are a little bit older. You know how kind of families kind
Oh,
of see that
yeah, yeah,
family tree?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you see that
Absolutely.
generational photos of like, okay,
Okay.
those kids turn into adults and then they
Those
have kids.
adults. Okay.
And it's
Cool.
kind of like
Cool.
that. But one of the um, more recently, like I said, the family, the main family, the first generation, and you can tell that this is a like propped up. This is the it's like not shrined, but these are the original owners.
Okay.
One particular came that you find is that you have see the mother, you see the father, there's a daughter, there's a
Hmm.
son, probably in their late teens, early 20s, and then there's a
Okay.
tiefling a daughter amongst them. So they're
Oh,
humans, and then there's a tiefling daughter.
wow. Okay. Ooh.
And then, like I said, that's the main picture. Then later on, one of the daughters that you saw in that main picture now is a
Hmm.
mother and has a picture of her daughter in this hallway as well.
Okay.
And this particular,
Wow.
and then the daughter is an ebony skinned tiefling. So like there's a generational
Skips a
tiefling,
generation.
yeah, that kind of goes
Okay.
in like this.
Ooh, got the blood. Okay.
And so you're sneaking in, this is what you're
Yeah.
getting, and the smells. Suddenly, as you look down, the stairwell is from the first floor. So there's a straight shot to the first floor
Oh,
and the
wow.
store. And suddenly you get that wafting smell of candies. And you're
Oh,
pretty, what you're picking up too is that this store hand makes their candies.
oh my God.
And then
Awesome.
there's potions down there, and it's a general store as well. So there's
Yeah.
like it's that general store, candy store, potions, occasionally for that potions, all purpose. And
Sure.
you that wafting smell in it. And as you're moving you get to the clock, and Tiv's kind of standing out,
Uh-huh.
making his looking around, and his perception check is.
Oh my God.
So he's kind of
Damn it
looking
all.
at it, and he seems to be distracted looking at these pictures
Oh.
for a second. And you
Interesting.
approach this burnt clock. What do you do?
Mhm. So I would kind of look at the clock. Are there any other kind of distinguishing characteristics of it other than that it looks burnt and like
It's
is it pretty?
very.
Does it look like it was expensive?
It probably looks expensive. The craftsmanship is unique. It's it's almost a Vernus
Oh
ish,
wow. Okay.
but it's got some dark red uh wood that was made that it is almost, and you're pretty sure there's probably an element of fire resistant. That's why it survived.
Okay.
But it's the unique shape of the like flames that kind of come down and kind of come up, and it probably was a cuckoo clock of some sort or something
Okay.
similar to that, like a clock. And
Sure.
clocks are common, but not. But it's just a very unique design. It's not working at all anymore.
Okay.
But you know that there's a front face, and then there's the little bit of the information, but it's really scorned.
Mhm.
Like it survived an inferno.
Wow. So for a minute, Bryn is just kind of like in awe of this piece.
Mhm.
But then she kind of like shakes it off and like reaches around behind and looks for this compartment.
And you know that in the front there's a little bit of a window that kind of opens up, and you kind of see the
Mm,
chiming gears and stuff like that.
yes.
And your passive perception is good enough that you see that as you kind of open it up and you're looking around, as you're looking around, you notice in the back, on the
Mm.
inside, in the back, in the corner, there's the Harper symbol.
Okay. And Bryn would kind of smile
Mhm.
and look for the note or the message or whatever it
Give me
is.
an investigation check to see if you can find the secret compartment.
Oh God. Okay, here I go. 4.
Yeah, you're kind of looking at it and you're like, it should be right here. You're not
And
seeing
and
it. You're like, okay, what are you missing? You're like, what am I missing?
and I Bryn gets really frustrated, and all she would do is like snap her fingers because that's
Mhm.
about as loud as she dares to be, and hopes that Tib is paying enough attention that he sees. And then she would signal him to come up.
he walks over. He's like, what?
I can't find it.
Maybe you can't find it.
I see the symbol, but I can't find the item, the message.
All right, let me take a look. And he kind of looks over and he sticks his hand in, and he just kind of goes around everything. And then as he's up on back and where the front piece of where this glass is, there's a little bit, he runs his hand and he stops. He's like, and he pushes in a little notch, and then suddenly where the symbol is, it pops out for a second, and he's like, there, see, and he kind of turns it, and suddenly the bottom plate, actually, let me take that back, the back plate kind of like pops out and shifts for a second, and what it appears is that you can open up that compartment and grab what is in. But at this moment, as he pops it open and the big things, ding, the thing chimes. The bell chimes.
Oof. And I would immediately like we've been made. And so you said like a compartment opened?
In the back, yeah. I
kind of, without even looking, I reach into that compartment, grab anything that's in there, just whatever.
So as you kind of push him aside and you're kind of looking in, and as you open it up, there is a cylinder made of mithril. And it's probably about, almost like a cigar size piece of metal. Yeah. And you just kind of pull it out and it kind of comes out. Yep, pretty much. A little bit smaller, but yeah. And he's just it's made of complete mithril.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And at that moment, you hear a little lantern and some footsteps from down below.
Down below in the shop?
In the shop.
And I would at this point push Tib ahead of me, and I'd be like, out the way we came.
And you hear this noise kind of coming from down there. And you hear a voice. Very old. An old, elderly woman, ebony tiefling.
Oh.
With a little bit of a cane, and she's actually starting to walk up the stairs as you're getting. And suddenly there's a little bit of a light that came as if there was a hand motion and some light coming from her hand. And just as you try to get to the door, it shuts.
Oh, shit.
Hello? Who's there? I should warn you. I might be spry in my age, but I can still whip you snappers well. If you're going here for gold, there's a wrong decision.
Oh my God, this is terrifying. Tib, try another door. Try another door.
And Tib's he goes to another door down the hallway a little bit.
Yeah.
And opens it up. And it's unlocked. And he's like,
oh my gosh.
And he kind of opens it up. And she's just slowly making her way.
That's what makes this so terrifying. Oh
she's kind of got that cane, and she's kind of
like a bad dream.
So you run down the hallway past her, because she's climbing up the stairs. You run past her, past this room, and you go down to another room. So you have an option. So you go through the first door, but there's another door down to the left where there's another room. But he goes to the other door, and he opens it up, and it looks like this is a crafting room. There's a beautiful stained glass mural that's kind of in this room. There's as if there was this is a craft room to put murals together, or like stained glass windows together, and there's pieces of glass, and there's like a crafts table, and there's different pieces in another part, and there's like one full piece that's already worked, and there's like another piece that's being worked on, and there is a window in that room as well, but it's it's like the corner, and there's nothing below.
Oh man, is this window in the corner openable?
Yeah, it's openable.
Okay, I would open it, and I would want to look how far down it is.
So as you open it, Tib gets in and shuts the door behind, and he's just like, and as you're looking down, it's a good 15-20 foot drop. So,
Oh
and
man.
so it might hurt. But I
Do
need
I
you to
still
make
have my crowbar grapple?
it's over on the other side unless you didn't grab it.
I didn't. I didn't say so. I can't retcon that.
Um,
Well, but like,
actually, you
okay,
would
and
have.
feel free to make a decision.
No, actually,
Brynn
I
would
would.
cover her tracks.
She would. That
She
is
wouldn't
back
just
of your
leave
bird.
it.
No, she would. She would have taken it with her and used it to get back down. So yeah, because you wouldn't want it hanging for people to walk by and have it.
Right.
So I would say yes, you do have it with you.
Okay. Okay.
But
Brynn, yeah, sorry.
make a perception check real quick.
Oh lordy. Oh no. Okay, perception
Yep.
is 18.
18. So as you're looking down, you're thinking, okay, we can do the crowbar. You suddenly see movement.
What kind of movement?
As the stained glass mirror suddenly goes.
Oh my
and
god.
turns into a golem. And you need to roll initiative.
Oh no. We're gonna get some cuts and bruises. This isn't good. I got a 14 initiative.
14 initiative. All right. And 12 for or 13 for a Tib.
Awesome.
All right. I'm ad-libbing Tib.
Okay. Ad-lib Tib.
Ad-lib Tib. Da, 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 da.
Awesome.
And then
Dun, 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 dun.
Brynn, you said, I'm sorry, Brynn, you got a what?
14.
14.
Because I had to beat Tib by 1.
Yes,
so.
you did. Because,
Destiny.
Yep. Gotta be that way.
Mm-hmm.
The glass work golem. Let's see.
Glasswork golem.
The glasswork golem.
He's the prettiest boy.
And it is the glasswork golem, for those that would like to know, is from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, page 193.
Oh. Wow.
So as it comes up, let me where's this wonderful initiative? He has an initiative of that's his initiative. Let me get that rolled real quick in D20 because he's got a 15.
Oh god. So 13, 14, 15?
Yep.
You very rarely get the small straight there.
I know.
Dang.
All right.
Brutal.
So he comes up, and we're gonna make this very interesting. 1 through 3 is you, 4 through 6 is gonna be Tib.
Okay.
Tib. So as this golem looks, because Tib is at the door, and it's kind of on as he's moving his way, it kind of and I don't think I can I'm gonna try to throw this in the link real quick. Yep, there it is. So that's what it looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. It's very pretty.
Oh yeah, it's got some very nice designs, and it is going to it's gonna make an attack.
Damn.
And you know what? We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way because it did work. Okay, it worked. A 14. What is your AC?
My AC is a 17.
Okay, we're gonna say 6. Tibbs is a 16, just so he's pretty much around your area for
yes.
AC. So suddenly the sword kind of comes up and goes whoosh and misses him. But he does get a second attack, and that second attack comes in, and he gets the first strike. He kind of dodges out of the way as he's moving, but the second one he gets sliced for like 5 hit points of damage, which he's hurting from that little cut.
Yeah.
Since he's probably got maybe he's got a good amount. So Brynn, what are you gonna do?
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. And I don't know what will count as actions. This is a pretty small, tightly packed space, right? So I would give Tib the tube.
Mm-hmm.
I would give Tib the crowbar grapple, and I would push him towards the window.
Okay.
And then I would arm myself and try to like get between the glass golem and Tib.
Okay, so you kind of grab that, get him, push him, and he's going to try to hook the grapple so that he can land and kind of do a fireman's pole slide with
Yes.
the rope.
Yes,
And
exactly.
yeah, 18, not 20 something. So he's like, it was like almost you planned it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of gets pushed, he grabs it, and kind of lands.
Mm-hmm.
While you kind of push him, move. What else do you want to do? You as you put yourself in between. You just kind of defending, or are you gonna
defending?
Okay.
Yeah, I doubt that. Like, I'm gonna go. I think it's probably too much to try to escape on this turn, isn't it? Or no?
Yeah, you can get to the. Actually, no. You could barrel out the window. Well, actually, you could hold your action.
Okay.
Well, since it's
I mean,
we're fluid here.
what is an action and what is an attack?
So
here?
we're fluid. Since you're not attacking the golem, you kind of
Okay.
push Tib out. You're kind of holding your action until what he does, and potentially you're jumping out the window at right after him.
Yes, that's kind of. I wanted to kind of make way for Tib to get off, get away, and then I would, as soon as he's safe and away, then I would go.
Okay. So as you are getting out the window and you're filing, he comes back and suddenly the sword gets one slice at you. And just as you're kind of flying back and you grab onto the rope, doing this, back beautiful maneuver, he gets this one slice across somewhere.
Yeah.
Which brings up an interesting question. Where does Brynn have any scars in the campaign?
Yeah, I mean, Brynn has a lot of.
I remember you were talking about that one time you were sharing scars.
I think it's even in my character art.
Yep.
There's a lot that she got from after her life with the Harpers, but she says that they are all from her time at sea.
This is
this one actually
only one. So you get one scar from the Harpers, and it's more or less. I was going to say it's a good arm cut.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an arm cut that you don't see because Brynn isn't, naked around her friends ever. But it actually like would emerge here, and they would be able to see that. But it does go like all the way like to like her like mid chest.
I would even, like I said, and it was 5 points of damage.
Like
so, I mean,
ow.
Yeah, I mean, you only had probably 8 at first level.
Right. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. That's.
I was gonna say, what's your constitution? You're probably 10. 8 to 10 hit points.
Oof, yeah. No, that'd be about right. I think 10.
So yeah, you got sliced really sharp, and then you dropped, and you're at the base, and like I said, this golem is kind of standing at the top of you.
Yeah.
What do you do next?
I would kind of like give like whip the rope so there's like a wave in it, so the crowbar kind of like jumps up off its grip.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like just like unhook it. And then she would like grab the crowbar, not even bother winding up the rope, and she would just. Is Tig down here, or did he?
No, yeah, he's already down here with everything. He's kind of waiting for you, and stepped out of the way as you kind of slid down and got to the bottom as well.
I imagine being wounded, I landed slightly less gracefully than he did. And I kind of land and I do this, and I just grab the crowbar. I'm like, let's go. And then
you're running off into the. Give me a stealth check as you're leaving.
Oh my god, one last stealth check. Oh my god, I'm gonna leave blood behind or something. 18.
Yeah, no problem. You get to us, and he rolls a good 19, 20, and you get to a corner, you rope everything up, you're kind of and you make your way scot-free.
Awesome.
And you're like, you did it. So you make your way through the city, and you don't have any healing potions with you right now. You have to wait until you get back.
Yeah.
And so you get back to the meeting where you're supposed to drop everything off, and again, the window, the door to the cellar is there, and you work in. It's locked, so Tib does have a key.
Okay. Good. We're throwing our dice all over tonight, Jay.
It's underneath, so
they're rebelling.
They're rebelling. So he has the key, opens it up, he kind of gets in, and there's the container that you're supposed to put it in.
And is this so? Like, is this it's mithril?
Yeah,
This
this
tube?
container is mithril.
And does it open, or would it
It
easily open,
there it
or
it,
is it
it
like
seems like it probably is a click. It might take something to kind of open it up and click, and yeah, but yeah, it's probably relatively easy. It's but there's probably a small locking mechanism. There a small locking. So you might actually let me take that back. There is a locking mechanism, so you would have to use a thieves tools to kind of actually open it.
for a second when they get back to this cellar area and they shut the door behind them? I imagine there is just this kind of like when they're just like catching their breath from
Mm-hmm.
running all this way and
Yep.
like just kind of like sitting, and Brynn would sort of like kind of lean up against a wall and just sort of like slide down to where she's sitting and is just kind of like feeling
Mm-hmm.
her wound, and sees is Tib just getting ready to put that thing in the barrel, or
He's
is he
kind of
like,
eyeing it a little bit, but yeah, he's gonna be getting in the barrel shortly.
Tib, hold on,
But
aren't you a little curious?
oh yeah,
Listen, oh, I'm gonna have quite the mock from that thing. I think we deserve to see what's inside.
we shouldn't. But what do you think?
I won't tell if you don't.
Okay.
Okay.
And he pulls out his tools and he goes to work on it. And see what we get here.
And Brynn is reaching for something, a bottle of whatever the first thing she grabs is, and she uncorks it and just starts drinking.
The nat one.
Oh, damn it. Oh, damn
And
it.
he breaks the lock.
Shit. Tib.
And he breaks
to
his
me.
tools too.
Oh, Tib, give it to me. Can I do like a sleight of hand or something to at least like, so I imagine like if he breaks his tools,
Mm-hmm.
like there's like a piece of it inside the
Mm-hmm.
lock. Is that what it is? So I want to just, can I do like a sleight of hand or something to at least like
Give me
get the chunk out to
give
hide our track?
you're gonna have to give me a tool at disadvantage. So a d20 plus your proficiency.
Okay, d20 plus proficiency at disadvantage.
At disadvantage, because it like I said, that one broke some stuff in there, and
yeah. Oh damn it! Well, 8.
yeah, it's because it's so small. It's not getting in. There's nothing in. He's just like,
We are going to be in so much trouble.
you don't know. It's us. Is it the fire and everything else? It could be that way. It's old, so you know what? And he kind of goes in and kind of shoves it
Your
in.
thieves' tools weren't old, you dumb lummox. Your thieves' tools were brand new.
They're not gonna. They're not gonna. All right, let's get out of here. Go.
And I get up and I would
Yep.
yeah, I would leave. I would head back to where I'm staying.
Yeah, and your mentor's there, and she gets back, and you get back that night, and she's waiting, kind of, and sees you, like, oh, and sits down, and she kind of is like, okay, take this healing potion, and she starts bandaging you and kind of doing that medicine, and she's like, this is gonna leave a scar, definitely.
Yeah.
Your first, I guess. I'll mark the occasion.
First of few.
Yes.
First of few, I hope.
And she's like, successful?
Yes, we found it. We didn't get caught. Well, we and I would like gesture at this. We almost got caught. And I would kind of smile, like, have you ever seen a glass golem before?
Heard of them. That particular shop is interesting.
Yeah, that's one word for it.
Well, now that it's over, I can share a little bit more for you. That the owners, the original owners, that clock was not at that location.
Where was it before?
It was at a warehouse that got burned with arson, suspicious circumstances. the individual was leaving some information for us, and we thought it was lost by the arsonists. And we recently, it was recently found out that it survived, and that particular information was potentially in there. That was pertinent for some additional information. That's the previous owner had recently been to Saltmarsh, and we don't work in Saltmarsh, but and that's possibly one of the reasons why. So we were looking for that information, and it's good that you have it.
Yeah, we it was in like a mithril like tube, like a case. And so we left that in the barrel where we were supposed to, and
Excellent. Well, mission accomplished. Task accomplished. Welcome.
Task accomplished.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
And there's a bottle of mead that kind of next to it is too.
Awesome.
Is kind of, and she gets up and she kind of smiles and she starts walking away, and then she stops and takes this curious look at you for a second, as of like a mother doting to a daughter of happiness and accomplishment. And she gets a little smile, and then there's a slight second that you notice, as if there is something else she knows, but doesn't say anything. And she's really good. I mean, she's good at keeping, but for whatever the case might be, she slipped up for like the first time you've really ever seen her slip up with her emotions.
Okay.
And
I imagine Brynn would be like pouring a drink. And you said I do notice this, or I did not?
Not
that
so
something
much.
Carrie sees?
Yeah, it's Carrie sees, but you.
Okay.
Yeah. So is the camera pans out.
Okay. The audience sees
the
it.
audience sees this, kind of looks back as if she knows something that Brynn doesn't, and that it's kind of sits back and just kind of like, okay. And then she walks into the other room as the scene.
Wow.
Little spoiler, little fish.
Awesome. Yeah, little carrot. Wow. Awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
That's great, dude. Well done.
Thank you, Carrie, for this exploring Brynn's backstory, and with a little bit of a short. Maybe in the future, like I said, we might have a few more to explore a little bit more to bring that background of where our characters are. But
phenomenal.
There might be a little bit of some spoilers in this one. There might be some loose threads. So
I definitely feel like they're gonna find out about the. It's like, oh, they'll never know. It's like they definitely will. You don't know, Jay.
But I think they're going to be, in all honesty, they're going to be more concerned what's inside than what's there.
Oh yeah, they won't give a crap.
Yeah,
they'll just going to be like that. We tried to find out too.
Which, under normal circumstances, is not
for kids.
Yeah, it's not unheard of.
No.
And it's one of those things where if you didn't try, then
Harper's thrive in information.
Exactly.
And if we didn't at least try to get all the information we could, what kind of Harper's would we be?
Exactly. And that may have been a test too.
Perhaps it was. I hope so.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Carrie, where can they find you?
On Monday nights, you can find me over on Mini Terrain Domain. We play the Candlekeep Mysteries, and I play Tira the Barbarian. Once in a while on Wednesday nights, you can find me actually also on Mini Terrain Domain. This May the 11th, I believe, was the day. Let me double check that. But I am going to be running, yes, it was May the 11th. I'm going to be running Call of Cthulhu. It is going to be the first game I have ever run ever. So I am very excited for that. And then on a couple Fridays a month, you can see me on Dice Tales Live.
Excellent. So people are going to be looking at going, wait a minute, today is May 11th, which it might be, because we might run this on May 11th, because this is pre-recorded. So while you're running, this might be showing. So we'll see about that. Or we will just
duality of man
somewhere else. So, hey, you get your clone up. thank you, everyone. I'm Jay, also known as Neopet3 in the socials. Check out our socials. Check out our YouTube channel for the Pouring for the Wayward Gamer, where we put all of our VODs on there. And we will catch you again. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Be kind and don't be a jerk.
Yes.